I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, and I mean a lot of Overwatch. Nowadays, it's pretty hard for a game to have its hooks in me in the way that Overwatch does. Last game to do it was Splatoon. But why is that? What does it take to get me truly addicted to a game? Earlier this year, I gushed about Splatoon in my top 5 games of 2015 list. If you want to hear more about that, click the annotation or the card. Depends if you're on mobile or whatever. YouTube's crazy. Right now, I just want to focus on Blizzard and my history with them, as well as my history with Overwatch. Okay, now I'm sure a lot of you Blizzard fans love World of Warcraft. Not the movie, the game. Not that they're easy to confuse or anything like that. The game makes like $58 a second, but I digress. So WoW, I haven't played it. Never really had the desire to. Not a big PC gamer, not a big fan of MMOs, not a big fan of paying subscription fees for games I already paid money to own. So WoW is one of the furthest things from a game that appeals to me. Now I know that tons of gamers lost their lives to these games, so I guess I dodged a bullet? So on to another pretty popular Blizzard game, StarCraft. I know next to nothing about StarCraft. So next, Diablo, nope, still nothing. Heroes of Storm, negative. Hearthstone, I played Pokemon cards once. Does that count? Okay, it should be pretty clear by now that the types of games that Blizzard typically makes usually go completely over my head. So how in the world did I fall in love with Overwatch? I think it has a lot to do with what it is about this game that is completely un-Blizzard. Now don't get me wrong, I 100% understand that Blizzard makes super polished games that everybody loves, and to a lot of people they're the best thing ever in life. When I say un-Blizzard, I don't mean it in the trolley, I like this game and not their other games, and so therefore they needed to get good to make something I like sort of way. I just mean this game is really optimized for consoles. I'd almost venture to say it's smarter to play this game on console. Depending on the characters you play, of course. I'd imagine characters like Widowmaker, Genji, and Hanzo are easier to play on PC because of the needed precision to play well with them. What makes me say it's better to play on console is the comparatively smooth movement a controller affords. And I understand that you could totally use a controller on PC, but I hate drivers and consoles are easier and blah blah blah. That's besides the point. I digress. Again, back to why I'm so addicted to Overwatch, and by extension, why I love Splatoon so much. The dynamic of most shooters is whoever has the best kill to death ratio is king. If you just so happen to be the poor unfortunate scrub that underperformed, you just might get heckled, to put it nicely. Called a motherfucking piece of to put it bluntly. And though admittedly I keep close tabs on how I perform in this metric in every shooter that I play, it's rarely the most important thing in Splatoon or Overwatch. Now in Overwatch specifically, you'd undoubtedly benefit if you have a teammate or two with great KDs, but unlike most shooters, you don't need to be one of them to be considered a valuable asset to your team. The reason for that is Overwatch's focus on team roles. Each character fits inside a class, and even within those classes, characters differ pretty significantly from one another. For example, Tracer and Pharah belong to the offensive class, but their abilities and playstyles make them feel like they come straight out of 2 different games, let alone classes. With that being said, I feel pretty confident in saying that any player can easily find at least one hero that works for them. Splatoon felt the same way for me. Aren't good at aiming? There's a solution for that. Your playstyle a bit reckless? Maybe you're more of a silent campy type? Both of these games have you covered. And not only are these games diverse, they're also super balanced, which is an oddity these days. Now let's get into the criticisms a lot of people have for these games, or had in Splatoon's case. Both Overwatch and Splatoon launched with a small amount of modes, which has earned these games a fair amount of criticism from gamers refusing to buy the game, until they feel the amount of content justifies the price. The thing is, the developers of Splatoon supported the game with tons of free post-launch DLC at a pretty rapid clip, and something tells me Overwatch will have the same outcome. Even without the additional content, I personally felt that Splatoon was worth the price based solely on the gameplay mechanics and the amount of fun I had with the content that was available at launch. Quality over quantity. Overwatch is no different. Judging by some of the complaints I see on gaming news sites, YouTube comments, or even people I know personally, that concept isn't something that's agreed upon at large. I don't know of what caused that. Maybe we can explore that in the future. Well, those are my thoughts. What do you think? What was the last game that you got addicted to? Was it Overwatch? Was it Splatoon? Some other Blizzard game that I ever played in my life? Let me know in the comments, or on Twitter or Facebook. Doesn't really matter. See you next week. The fact that we didn't actually get any of that. What we did get was pretty cool though, right? Right? As a gamer, I've always been open to trying new things. I love it when a developer is willing to experiment, as it can lead to games like Wario
and race. But in most general cases, should gender and race even matter?